Okay.
These do well in the algorithm. So let's read some Reddit stories. You ready to
Ooh, okay.
psychoanalyze some motherfuckers for some Reddit
Oh,
stories?
I'm ready, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready to judge a motherfucker.
All right. It will be trucker related since we're doing the evergreen topics here. Well, maybe not with
Okay.
AI, maybe not with AI, but we'll see where this goes. Okay, we got this thread from Reddit. Truck drivers. What's a creepy story you've got from the middle of nowhere? Before we read some people's replies, do you have any answers to this question, or was it pretty not scary for you?
I think no. I think that one scary moment when I was going down that mountain 2 o'clock in the morning. But see, most truckers do that. That's normal for them. But since I was so new, it was just it creeped me out. But just being on like driving around mountains and stuff, that was wild. But anyway.
Let's get into the first thing here, and I hate this about Reddit when it's like truckers, creepy stories you've got. Literally, first one, not a trucker, but all right, whatever, close enough. Road stories, close enough. Okay. Juicy Thought Tato here says, Jesus,
Juicy Thought Tato.
Not a truck driver, but once I was driving through the Canadian Rockies late at night and had just passed through a small town. So I'm driving through the pitch black and I need to stop to pee and have a smoke. But because it's so dark, I missed the last rest stop for the next mile. No problem. The highway is completely deserted. So I pull to the side of the road, have my pee while staring out into the dark, and then light up a cigarette and stand by my car. As I'm standing there, I see a figure of a man just walking out of the tree line. I'm miles from civilization. Patchy cell service, and there isn't a soul on the road. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, and maybe it was a deer. But nope, it was a man. So I calmly walk back to the driver's door and get in, locking the doors behind me. I'm keeping an eye on this guy as I nervously smoke and have my car and drive, ready to peel out. But for some reason, I just stayed put. The guy walks right up to my passenger door and knocks on the window. I crack the window and I ask what's up. He replies to me in a very serious tone, I need you to call the cops. I cautiously ask why, and he tells me he had gone out into the woods to kill himself, but he couldn't go through with it because he had thought of his daughters right before he was about to do it. I call the cops while the guy quietly cries outside. He had a kitchen knife that he was going to use on himself, so I stayed in the car and advised him to maybe leave the knife on the ground before the cops arrived. The cops came and got him, but before they left with him, I gave him a solid heart-to-heart and wished him well. I still think about him. I hope he was able to turn things around.
Wow, what a story.
That's crazy, bro. You're just out, lit up a cigarette, and some dude like, yo, I was about to just end my shit, bro, and you just happen to be there.
Serendipity to the max, bro. The little angel helped them out there.
Shit happens when you're out in the middle of fucking nowhere, dude.
Yeah, wow.
All right, here we got a real trucker here. Yeah, this guy's okay. Here. So this guy you can relate to. This you can psychoanalyze. All right, we got a real trucker here.
All right, let's do it.
Well, it was creepy at first. I pull into a Purdue plant, drop my empty trailer to go park where they allow bobtails to sit, right next to a nice little pond. My pickup was in 12 hours, so I do my PTI. What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
12 hours to do my. That's what I mean by to do my PTI and lay down in the bunk. So his PTI is just like his daily. That's what I mean. But you know what I talk about by you only like the federal. You're only allotted so many hours a week to drive.
Okay.
And you have to by federal law you have to log in all the hours that you drive and you sleep.
Mm.
Okay, so this is part of that.
His mandated sleep time.
Yeah.
Okay. At about 3 a.m., I hear something tapping on my passenger side door. I get up, look out the window, expecting to see someone. Maybe a driver asking for a lumper check, but no one's there. Maybe I'm hearing things. So I go back to lay down. As soon as my head hits the pillow, I hear the tapping again, except this time it's on my driver's side. Same thing as before. I jump and look out my window, but nothing's there. Double lock my doors just in case and open my side hatches so I can hear what's going on outside. After about 15 minutes, I hear a very light splat, splat, splat going along the driver's side of the truck. I slowly get up, panning to look out my window at the exact moment whoever it is knocks on my door, and then I hear a thud coming from the roof of the cab. I stop, grab my tire thumper off its hook, and ready myself for whatever the hell is going on.
A tire thumper, remember when I told you about checking your tires every morning?
Yeah. There's
a tire thumper. Instead of kicking your tires, you can have a tire thumper and you thump your tires. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Then a motherfucking goose falls off the top of the truck and lands on my hood. It stands up, waddles back and forth, and looks at me. As we make eye contact, the tapping at my door starts again. I say, fuck it, throw over the driver's side door, and there's another damn goose waddling away with all the speed it can manage, honking like a 5-year-old who just found the horn on his new bike. The pond I parked next to had a ton of them just dicking around. Needless to say, it was hard to sleep that night because every couple of minutes, the damn geese would peck at my door, land on the cab, and waddle around. That's not where I thought this story was going, because when you hear the knock on one door, laid his head down, knock on the other door, I figured it was a person. He goes to lay down, and then he went to the other side to check and see if anybody was in it. It was going to be some... either a hooker or some kind of creepy shit going on.
That was
pretty funny.
That's crazy.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty.
That's a good little story.
That was a good couple little stories here. Okay, so that was the best they could come up with scary stories. But let's look at some crazy stories. What do you think? What do you think about that? What do you think? Let me try to find some meat here for you to analyze.
First one's not a trucker. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was just a guy that just happened to be on the road or whatever. Just a guy on the road. All right, let's see what this guy says. My great uncle was in a wheelchair when I met him. Grandma's brother at a family reunion back in Nebraska. To preface, black beauties were softcore speed back in the 50s to 70s. Truckers would pop them and use 2 logbooks to bypass driving limits on consecutive hours operating. That's probably what our good old boy was doing last time when he was working 16 hours or whatever the fuck.
Yep.
Okay, because it was hard for me to read this guy. I didn't know what he was talking about. So Black Beauties is like a pill or something. Some kind of no-dose
some of those
shit.
pills, the stackers. Yeah.
So the story goes, my uncle was hauling pigs from Arkansas to Minnesota and back. Apparently, he did 3 loads in a row without stopping. Something like 45 hours straight. And after a while, you start having hallucinations. Maybe the drugs, maybe the lack of sleep, maybe the brain just goes numb. And after staring at the road for 45 hours straight. But regardless, he says he sees an elephant in the road.
In the roadie. The road.
Now, even he understands there's no elephant in the road. He's high on meth, but there's no way he's going to stop the truck for a hallucination.
Yeah.
Problem is, he wakes up 6 days later in the hospital with 3 broke vertebrae and his eyes are swollen shut, and he could just barely mumble. Newspaper headlines for Dubuque, Iowa in the summer of 52. Escaped circus elephant hit by truck.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Apparently there was 400 dead pigs and 1 dead elephant after this man, my wheelchair-bound uncle, hit an elephant going 65 down the highway. The truck was tore up and rolled and tipped over, steering wheel knocked out 4 teeth and shattered his orbital bones, and he never walked again. But he was still around in 92 when I met him. Uncle Ike. Don't do drugs, kids. And when you get tired, just pull over. It's not worth being crippled. But damn, he hit an elephant. What do you expect? Drugs or no drugs? Like, bro.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine thinking you're hallucinating and then find out it wasn't actually a fucking...
It was an actual elephant. That's fucking nuts, bro. You can't make that shit up. Wow. Wow.
That's pretty fucking nuts. That's pretty
Crazy,
funny. Did you ever
man.
have any times where you were like so fucking tired from being on the road that you started hallucinating shit? Did that ever happen to you?
Well, I wasn't hallucinating, but I got to a point. There were some times where I was like fighting to stay up. That was when I was sick. Like when I was sick and I was trying to get some sleep. It was a miracle that I got. That's what I'm saying. It was a miracle I got through.
Yeah.
It was just an absolute miracle sometimes. But I had, my drug of choice were those 5-hour energy drinks.
Oh yeah.
And I would just sip them, and that would ping me, and I would get through. But because that shit for me was like,
because you like never, like you said, you're like sensitive to caffeine and shit, so you like never do energy drinks or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but the 5-hour energies, like I would just drink. I wouldn't drink a whole bottle at once. I just drink, I would sip on it, and that would like get me going. So that was it.
Did you ever take any of the those like weird pills or whatever shit?
No,
like
I never. Those would fuck me up.
No.
I think they call them stackers or stingers or some shit.
Well,
Yellow jackets.
They have a couple of different ones. Yeah, but that shit always sketches me out when I'm at the gas station. I see like the blue rhino pills or whatever that's supposed to give you a heart.
Yeah, right next to the kratom.
Right next to the kratom pills or whatever the fuck. That shit sketches me out, dude. That shit absolutely sketches me the fuck out.